This is it. Series 2, or kind of What's the Story? Hash Brown Glory. You're with us and we're with you. Isn't this exciting?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's never as
It is. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be back.
Good. Well, we've got some awesome guests lined up. We're going to try and just do a continuous stream of podcasting glory as opposed to glory through our little hole here with and give you a constant barrage of joy. Exactly, that's exactly what it is.
It's a barrage
of joy. Instead of dropping away for 3 months and stuff, I'm just going to continue to record. So welcome back. Like I said, we've got some awesome guests. We've got some awesome new features as well. And I think it's going to be exciting.
I'm excited for it.
Okay. Now, we do have to announce a winner of the drawing competition of Adam. I forgot to actually get prepared for this, so bear with me one moment. But fear not, there was only one entry, so it's not hard to find. And there's only one email in the inbox.
It was a good drawing, though.
It was a very good drawing. So, the winner...
It looks...
Drum roll, please!
One second. Okay. The picture, if you show the picture, we'll show the picture.
I will.
Looks a bit like Sue from Mel and Sue. Just saying. It looks a bit like Sue from Mel and Sue.
Actually does look
like... doesn't it?
So we asked...
It's Sue Perkins. So Adam looks like Sue Perkins.
Sue.
The only thing wrong with that picture, he doesn't like Oasis.
No,
he doesn't like Oasis. So, the winner is... Oh, I've got a name already. Ella Coyne! Well done, Ella. Thank you for your... I don't know how to put it. Up there somewhere. This one, is it okay? We zoom in on that? Ella, thank you for your efforts. It's actually really, really good.
It is good.
And you do listen to the podcast, so we thank you for that. If you get in touch, well, I might even email you, but if you get in touch before this happens, brunch is on us for 2. So thank you very much for that. I'm also really sad that she was the only person that entered.
But we're going to do another competition, aren't we?
Yes.
We are, and we need more people this time.
Yeah, we do. It was pretty lackluster. Yeah, plenty of time. We've been off for like 4 months.
And also, if anyone's got any questions for us about anything.
Anything?
We're doing a podcast now. We need to everything's
open book.
Yeah, open book, haven't we? Don't mean we'll answer them, but
we'll filter them anyway. But we have a fan of the show on today. Amy told me that she's listened to a podcast, so
big fan.
Right, here we go. Today's guest taught me how to tie my shoelaces. She also taught me a few things on the guitar. Today she'll probably teach me a lot about wine and warehouses. A life mentor, a superhuman, the one you can rely. She's been doing a lot of different things over her career, from refurbing furniture to moving booze around the country. And today she's selling some seriously delicious wines. Today's guest won't rob you of your taste buds of flavour, but rather enhance them with some delicious wines. Please give a huge hash brown glory welcome to Amy Roberts! It's like being on Radio 2, isn't it?
I know. Is Sally Traffic coming?
We should have someone like that. We should have someone that comes in halfway through. Adam in his disguise again.
Yeah.
Sue.
Sue Perkins.
Sue Perkins.
Oh, she's getting dressed up as Sue Perkins, Adam.
Adam, I'm so sorry. We've barely met already.
This is what he's...
No.
They pay me enough for this.
Honestly, the intro was great, though. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
I also didn't realise I was the one to teach you to...
You did teach me. Do you remember? It was sat on your parents' steps.
Yeah.
Do you remember that now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's pivotal moment. I remember that. And I can still tie them today. I did look at yours actually earlier.
I might have been really poor. That one's
do you need me to teach you again?
I can't reach them now, Tom.
Wait, just squeeze them on.
Not too much of a good time.
Amy, where are you now? What are you doing? Why have I brought you here?
So, Tom, I am at an incredibly exciting point in my career. I have set up a wine business called Thirsty Birds with 4 other women. We've invested a chunk of cash. We've bought some delicious wine. I'm a supply chain director, or I was a supply chain director.
Yep.
There is a lawyer, an accountant. I'm handily married to, a wine buyer and an EHO. So we all got together.
Okay.
We all clubbed in.
George, hang on. George is an accountant and a lawyer.
No, they're different people.
Okay.
George is an accountant.
Okay, I thought that. I did think my facts were right in my head. I was just clearing that up.
Yeah. Yeah. George is an accountant. Susan's a lawyer. Ruth an EHO, and Harriet Kinnemonth is a wine buyer for the Wine Society. So
Well, quite a handy little group there, isn't it?
It's quite a cool group.
And how did that then?
So,
How's it then come about?
Yeah.
Like, did you just turn around and go, "I want to buy some wine"?
Were you drinking wine and thought, we could do this?
yeah, so I have worked 20 years in the drinks industry, worked for 3 of the largest wholesalers, and went through lockdown and Brexit. And as everybody did, well, there seemed to be either two ways that went for you. You either had an amazing time and got furloughed and or you had a really horrific time. Obviously, it was a difficult time for everyone. I worked, so I got to the end of that and went, do you know what? I've had enough. So I sold a house recently. First house I bought in Vauxhall.
Yeah.
And had a chat with George.
I've been there.
Yeah. I had a chat with George and said, I want to stop. So I stopped, took up watercolours. Really, really shit at watercolours.
Oh yeah.
Took it up. It was terrible.
It's really bad. I just wanted the world to stop. I mean, like, it'd be like, oh. And so I took up watercolours, was horrific at them.
Was this due to COVID you stopped? Was it kind of like, I've just enough now?
I mean, so I was in charge of the end-to-end supply chain. So we had a portfolio. It was an incredible portfolio, 7,500 SKUs. We imported from all over the world. We had about £100 million worth of stock turnover. So pre-COVID, we were about 200 million turnover total. So my job was to make sure that the stock was in, the stock was stored, the stock was delivered. That was me. And when COVID hit, and then 9 months later, Brexit happened. It was so disruptive for the supply chain. It was. I mean, I don't think that we'll see anything quite like it again in our generation, unless there is like world
war.
Basically,
Yeah,
Tom.
I know.
Yeah.
It's still on the cards. I mean,
Well, that's not too far away,
definitely
is
not
it?
off the cards. I mean, don't have a new present. Doesn't they have a new present today as well?
I mean,
It's today, right?
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
Trump guy.
yeah. So I'd come out of it or I'd come through it, and it had just been so disruptive. And as many people did, worked every day, didn't have any downtime. You couldn't go anywhere. You know, there was no downtime. There was no getting away from it. So at the end of it, I just sort of went, do you know what? I've had enough. I don't want to do this. And so the team that I left, incredibly talented. We'd pivoted our operation from B2C to direct to customer. So we'd previously been 80% of our turnover was generated from on trade. That switched off overnight, you know, and that notification of actually we're shutting. And hospitality was shutting. And
we were there.
you guys must have done the same as us, which was, oh, shit. What are we going to do? So you had to be agile. And an incredibly talented group of people at an Atria that I was working with at the time, we flipped. Like, we switched really quickly. The things that we achieved during that period, some of them were incredible. Some of them didn't work, you know.
What was like an amazing thing that happened? Like, just give us an example of that.
So, I mean, I think that getting the online presence, building that up. I mean, like what we'd seen overnight, literally overnight, was the kind of growth, the kind of hyper growth that you can only dream of.
Yeah.
Like offset by the loss. It wasn't great, but well, let's focus on the positive.
Damn,
Guys. Let's focus on the positive.
80%'s gone to nothing, but 20%'s doing well.
Yeah.
We made sales, but the costs were way
that
more.
technically was only 5% because some of that was the supermarket. And it's really complicated to do, but actually we got it. And we had a collective effort to draw down, to free up cash that was in stock. What could we do? People were thinking of really. The initiative that was that the guys, and we allowed, we needed people to
Come
use
up
their
with
own initiative,
ideas,
come up with
yeah.
ideas. Oh, it was amazing. So how come I ended up with approaching Harriet to come in with the Thirsty Birds piece was because during lockdown we had created a bubble with two friends. We bought the box, the restaurant packs.
Yeah,
the box meals. Yeah,
meal kits kind of
So the
thing.
meal kits, and from really high-end restaurants that were doing it. So we had St John.
Oh, nice.
Well, we don't live far. It's my favourite
Yeah.
restaurant, Tom.
He's been, haven't you? He's been everywhere. I've been bloody nowhere.
Unbelievable.
Honestly,
I went on my own.
I know.
I've never been to a restaurant on my own. I went on my
There
own.
was
I
was
love it.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I listened to a great podcast. I was going to send it today. The Full English Podcast is a thing on why Fergus. Give me a second.
Yeah, Henderson.
Yeah. Why Fergus Henderson is like a pinnacle of modern day cookery, and why he's moulded how we cook.
Yeah.
The Full English Podcast. Maybe you can come on. But anyway, this one to listen to. Please continue.
So we got these boxes in, and I asked the wine team to pair wine with it. Harriet went off and just came back with these incredible pairings. That we were drinking vintage prosecco with cheese and stuff that I was never going to come up with, or any of us. But she was really creative in that, and it brought joy, and what those guys did and what the hospitality industry did in flipping that, it really something to look forward to. Our Saturday night where we all, got to sit down with each other and have a bit of normality.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and being able to pair the wine with it. So when I left and had my moment of watercolour action,
What was the worst picture you did?
It was so horrific. I'm quite good at oil paints. I'm quite good with the oils. And I was like, I'm going to take up watercolours and go to the coast.
On a cliff.
I'm taking the sea, literally sat on the cliff going, oh my God, this is shit. And I went with my mate who's really talented, and she's like there pressing the brush and releasing it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And these people came up one day, went more than once, loved it, I'm like, oh. And these people came up and were like, oh, well, we can tell who's the artist. I'm down the harbour, a bit of a slant. What's wrong with you? So people started to phone me and say, right, come on, Amy, get back to work. No, I've taken up watercolours.
Wait, sorry, were you thinking about it as a career?
No, Tom.
Right, okay. I was
No.
Strong move.
No one knows George. And in my downtime, then I started to think about what had happened with the supply chain and how vulnerable everyone was, what happened with glass. So when we were moving stuff, and you guys are obviously impacted by the same, when we were moving stuff from South America, so Argentina, and the market had become so volatile, we were seeing prices quadruple, and there was no way of stabilising it. And it didn't just quadruple on the liquid, it quadrupled on everything that was around it.
Yeah, because when we was building this place, we had a delay on the glass, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because they had
the doors.
a shortage of the doors were delayed because there was a shortage
mainly,
of glass because of all the other stuff they were using it for.
It was straight out of It's pretty different.
It was like
different
months.
problem, but straight out of COVID was the war with
Yeah,
Russia and Ukraine. So that, I think that is Russian plyboard.
Yeah.
Which
think,
had
like,
tripled in price, but it looks better.
Yeah. But
that's what happened.
It was
like,
exactly that's
those
exactly right.
problems.
So there was lots of disruption within the supply chain, and do you know what? Like, I mean, this is going to sound terribly pretentious or a bit twatty of me. I apologise, but I read the FT and I read it because it reports on supply chain.
It's what you need to do. You need to do it.
That double.
Yeah,
I
quite.
don't read it because of, like, you know, I'm not a master of stocks and shares. I'm not a master of anything really, other than distribution and obviously. But it was reporting on it, so you could see, and the price of glass had gone up by 40%. Cardboard 30%, and all of these different elements that you put around this liquid all of a sudden were colossal and volatile, and no one was where you had, and you can see it with steel as well, where you have this really stable pricing. Sorry, excuse me. All of a sudden the things were just skyrocketing, coming back down,
Also, the normal person in the street don't see that.
No,
They don't
not
see
see that.
that.
Absolutely
no.
Prices has gone up
no.
in glass. It's like,
No.
no, it's always the same
No,
glass.
yeah,
Or prices
yeah.
can go up.
Or even if they do,
Yeah.
it's more of a
Yeah.
they'll absorb it.
Yeah. And there was only so much, so
Yeah, it's only so much absorption. It's saturated.
And so
on every
with-
level.
With Brexit as well, all the importing of the wines is going to...
Yeah, and that was on everything. So anything that you were bringing in, you had a mass skill migration. So you had lots of people left, didn't come back. So there was a huge gap for truck drivers, for example. It pushed the price of the salary of a truck driver went up. Quite right, you know, I don't disagree with that. Unless, I was like, oh, good, you know, they're getting paid for skilled work, which is what those guys do, and so you just saw this massive change, and communicating that out instead of just going, oh, now your pint's £7. You know, now your glass of wine is £12. Now this is... It was impossible because there was no stability in any of the markets. So when I started to map out Thirsty Birds, I looked at how you could start to implement a circular economy. So actually with glass, what do you do with glass? So glass at the moment... For wine, the majority of glass is on like a linear economy, if you like. So you buy glass, you put liquid in it, you sell it to a customer, they use the liquid, and then the glass goes in the recycling bin, hopefully, or in the bin. If it's recycled, it then comes back round. You have to move it. So no matter what you do, you have to move the glass. It then gets melted down and is reformed into a glass bottle. But the energy that it takes to do that is colossal. And actually the cost, so if the cost of the energy that goes into it is nuts, it's still a bonkers, like, it's still that economy piece.
The process to make recycled bottles isn't there to make them cheaper.
Yeah,
so it's still as expensive
it's
or
still,
even more expensive.
Yeah, which is difficult to stomach when you're that. So I started looking at getting premium product out that was in the UK. We've got this emerging market of UK wine, some amazing product out there, like stuff that we should be really, really proud of, and I'll give you guys a taste of it. And it's not kind of getting the traction. So I wanted to take English wine, and I say English because it's not yet in Scotland. There's Welsh wine. We've not yet, as far as I know, there's not a vineyard yet north of the border. So I wanted to take UK produced wine, get it out to the public in a way that made economic sense, that it was economically viable to do it, so you weren't paying over the odds for it, and it was really sustainable. But how I'd come at it was not necessarily from a sustainability point, it was from a bottom line, and how you can shorten that supply chain tail, bonk, take all of that risk out, go, there's a keg of wine, it will stay fresh for longer, you have an economy of serve, you've got like, the speed of serve is quicker, it's not complicated to set up, it's a premium product, go. So this is where I came up with the whole concept of Thirsty Birds and went out to the 4 people, got Harriet to taste the wine. Ruth and I were auditing one of the big vineyards in Sussex, and we spoke to them about purchasing some wine off them. They make really spectacular sparkling wine. They've been great with us. They sold us some wine. We've blended our rosé. So that's it's a really great expression of like English rosé that I would quite like to compete with Provence. And actually, if you look at the food bars, if you look at the economies of it, we should be in a position where we can do so. We can't quite drive the economies that you get in the big wine producing countries. Of course we can't. You know, we're not there yet. But actually, let's support us getting to a point where you see English wine and you're not afraid of it, and you go, whoa, lovely. Ooh, there's an English rosé on. Oh, great. There's a Pinot Gris. I'm going to have that with something, I'm going to have that with my cheese. So I set that piece up, took it out to, started speaking to my friends about it, and whether or not got it sense checked.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a suicidal movement though as well.
Got it sense checked, right? Did 3 lots of numbers. Did a pessimistic, realistic, and what we have affectionately called the Del Boy numbers, which is by this time next year, Rodney.
All my numbers are like that. Yeah. I never do any pessimistic numbers. Hell no. Well, this is a great idea that I want to do. I'm going to do it.
I don't think that you'd do anything. Like if you went off your pessimistic numbers, you'd be like, oh no. But that's why George is there. Yeah. So I've married a finance. I am married to my George is a finance director. So she goes through and goes,
darling.
Give them here. Let's do this again. We're not going to make any money for 3 years.
What?
Oh no, I'm not doing it. So part of this journey was meeting Muriel Chantal from Sustainable Wine Solutions, who was the founder of Borough Wines. And so she's been doing this sort of thing for the last 20 odd years. Has a store, has Borough Wines in Borough Market. And I was chatting to her about the whole English wine piece. And we've sort of combined forces, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have. So this glass, so let me talk a bit about this and where we're at with this. So the glass that we use is all pre-used glass. So think milk bottle circa 1987. All of the glass, none of the glass is single-use glass. So we collect it from customers. It gets processed over. There's a processing place in France that we can import it in from, and then at Sustainable Wine they can do a whole processing piece where you collect the glass back, it gets processed, sterilised, and then it can be refilled. So it's a way of completely circular.
So it's not even smashed glass.
Not even smashed glass. So like a milk bottle, or Do you?
She's looking at me. I'm 40.
Yeah.
Tom, how old are you? You're 5 years older than that.
That was
all right.
that was what I was just figuring out, Tom. Do you remember the whole Newcastle Brown bottles when you worked in a
Brown Ale?
pub? Yeah. And they went back.
Yeah.
So they went back up until 2007. They went back to Scottish and Newcastle. They were processed. And then they were refilled. And then they stopped doing it, basically because it was too expensive, and said it's for environmental reasons. We are now not collecting it, and then the onus sits on the end user. So in the case of the pub, it's the landlord. So what we wanted to do was say, actually, save your waste. So we'll take your waste. We'll take. We can process these bottles. Yeah.
Is that all of their glass waste, or just the waste that you've brought to them?
So if we can get it to a point, aspiration would be all of the glass waste. That would be.
So you take all of their bottles?
So we take all of the bottles.
Because you don't care, in theory, what kind of bottle it goes in.
So
it's got to be a wine bottle, right?
Yeah. So, and you have to have continuity. So when you were talking about your Prado earlier, it might have been off the website.
What we're talking about, sorry?
20-80%. So 20% is your 8. So 20% of your SKUs will be 80% of your volume. Now, did I hear that earlier when you were talking on?
Were we talking about that?
No,
I don't know.
No, it might have been actually when I was listening. Do you know
Sound
what
very
that was?
intelligent,
Do you
Bruce.
know what that was? I think it was on the podcast
The
that I was
podcast.
listening to on the podcast.
What, our podcast?
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to have to do some
See,
homework.
Were we being smart?
Yeah,
probably.
Well, wait, we were being smart, mate. Yeah, you can learn all you like from us, haven't you?
Cheers. Well, I mean, it's
We're always talking about that.
It's quite a thing, that. It's quite a well-known thing. But you have continuity within your standardised bottles. So you will sell, whether that's the Sauvignon Blanc, the Garvey de Garvey, whatever it is, your rosé, it will be in the same bottle. And so actually you can create that. You have that standardisation that will happen through that, like a Malbec bottle is a Malbec bottle. And there's all sorts that we do with the glass. So the glass is also lightweight. So it's better to transport. So it's lighter to transport and all of this sort of thing. So the aspiration is really to get out there and to start to shift this gear with how we think about waste and what we think about the circular economy. And that all sits within logistics and warehousing.
See, told you it was interesting, didn't it, folks?
Yeah.
So-
All of it's
What's the initial plan? What's the thing you've got to do right now to get this going?
so to get this going.
Like what stage? What are you in stage? What are you even in stage one? I think it's a bit further than stage one. But
Yeah. So change perception, change in the perception of how things are packaged. So actually, if wine is in a keg or if wine is in a bag, then traditionally people have gone cheap wine.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we
again,
talked about it before, didn't we?
yeah.
Going to festivals with a bag of wine.
A bag of wine. Yeah.
Combi
exactly.
talked about this on the pod as well. He sells beer and great brewery in Melton, and he was like, I find it hard to sell my beer, and it's fucking great beer to restaurants because they won't have a can on the table. But beer is actually better in a can than it is in a bottle.
Yeah.
But also,
Because the light can't get to it.
Yeah,
It's
I think
better.
there's a few people. Tommy Banks has brought a wine in a can out as well, and he's a Michelin star chef, and the style that he has, he's like so people are out there trying to change that perception.
And like the thing with kegged wine is that quintessentially you're kegging this wine in a steel keg. So we use a couple of types of kegs. A sustainable wine solution. So there's a rubberized keg and which is quintessentially like a steel keg, like you store wine in at a winery. And then there's the flexi keg, which is new to market and is incredible. And it's it deflates. It's like a bag with
It's like a bag.
system.
Yeah, we had that from round corner, didn't
With
we?
the beer as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Looks like a missile.
It was kind of, it's like a
looks
plastic
pillow.
Yeah, it's kind of plastic thing, but the bag in the middle is full of the beer, and it kind of,
And
when you use it sucks
so,
it all out.
So the key keg does that. Yeah. So the pressure forces the wine out. So there's what I mean I would love to do is to be able to get 3-4 wines on tap, those entry level, or not even entry level, those mid-level wines where you have an option of service. So you have your glass, you have a carafe, you have a bottle if you want to send it out in a 75 cl premium wine that keeps well, that goes out to the table however you want to serve it, that's there for the customer. So, you know, they don't have to buy a bottle, they can taste, and you get a bit, they can taste, they have an option to taste different wines, and it's really good. And it's that change of perception that I think is really important. And it's not complicated to do it. And people,
but you got to change a lot of minds to turn an army.
Exactly,
cultural things like that are so hard. But so important as well.
So what I'd really love to do is to sit in some decent restaurants, and also the breweries, because when you're talking,
your next challenge to go to a Green King, Michelin Butlers, and try and get them in one of them big boys, and then the perception will snowball, really.
I would love to be in. So where we'll get the traction, will be with the indies, because they can do it. To get the nationals, absolutely, because then you're right. You get your product out. It tastes great. I mean, reaching thousands of people instead of 20 is a big deal, right? To be able to have it in tap rooms where your premium product sits next to another premium product, that you see great beer sitting next to great wine, the beauty of the tap room. So we've just got it into Ticking Clock Brewery in Shire Oaks, and the beer guys have been more accepting of it, because they want great product. I don't care if it's in a glass bottle. I want great product, right? And so you have this shift there that might not exist on a Michelin star restaurant wine list. St. John's, bring it back to St. John. St. John's boxed wine from their vineyards is spectacular and is very well priced. And see what they're doing is brilliant. Like, and again, you know, like we sort of said, you know, like they are.
He's the chief nose to tail guy. All about using it all, getting it all right.
And if you ever seriously, if you ever want to see me look incredibly happy, like,
take me there.
Take me there
for some bone marrow. Amy used to be a vegetarian.
I did.
Some
I was vegetarian
bone marrow wine and a donut for afters.
I was vegetarian for 12 years. Yeah. Oh god. But like, I've never been to St. John and not had, and something, part of that meal, whether it's a piece of cabbage, a dessert, the trifle,
the bread and butter with the custard.
Yeah, I mean it's the Eccles cake and the cheese. And
he's only using up old pastries that are not sold in the bakery. It's unbelievable.
Oh, it's amazing, and to have. There's never been a visit where I've not thought to myself, of some element of that is the best whatever I've ever eaten. You know, that's the best bit of cabbage, or that's the most potatoey potato. And it's not necessarily of all of it, but there's always an element of it. And I think, oh my God, have you done that? You've nailed that. And I think that it's such a joy to, you know, I love.
To live right round the corner from
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. Damn you, Islington.
We moved in. When we were moving house. Yeah, this is a story that George won't thank me for telling. We moved in next door to St John.
With that every day.
Oh, it was really bad. It was like I put weight on that I've not yet lost. It was 8 years ago. And the maitre d', because George always would go, "Oh, good evening, Georgina," and I'm like, "Oh my God, he knows my name at St John." And this one time we had this fruit pudding, this summer fruits pudding. And it came out, and it was. We were like, "How big is this?" And you see people, and you must see this, and and I hope that you love it. I love it when I cook for people, and they are clearly enjoying the food that I've cooked, and you guys must love it. So when you get me and George sat at a table, we are just beaming. I'm like. So we very often get free stuff, not because just because it makes me so happy. I'm like just bringing joy. What is it? Woo! And so we'd seen this summer fruits pudding. George loves it, and was like, "Oh, there's summer fruits pudding on," and I'm like, "Oh, it says between 2 to 4. What do you reckon?" So he said this to the waiter, and they were like, "Oh well. You know, you could probably,
You
give it a go."
Yeah. All the best.
Yeah, and we were like, "We'll do it." Oh my God. It was for 4 to 8. It was massive. Anyway, we ended up taking some home, but the joy. I think that is such a massive privilege, whether or not, whatever it is that you're doing, to be able to bring that, whether it's wine or food or whatever.
Definitely.
It is a privilege.
Yeah, I love it, and it brings great joy. And you think you don't get that in other industries, like that recognition, like your creativity, like what you've done, your creativity, how you put that out there, what you've paired it with, what you've matched it with, and this is where I think that the great sommeliers come in, and you go, "Oh my God, I'd never put sake with whatever that thing is that's just come out of the kitchen." But
we've had a sommelier on in last series, and he's just moved to London actually, Harry, and he was waxing lyrical about just how he's in the grand scheme of things, he's a young chap, he's under 30, but he's still hugely experienced, to be fair, the guy. But he was saying like how exciting it is when someone will pair something that he's still got no idea about, and it's such an exuberantly exciting thing to happen for him. And he's just like, this will never work, and it works. And he just thinks it's unbelievable.
Yeah. At the cellar door, so I set up the operation. I've got a little unit in Retford. Am I doing it LinkedIn wise? Well, my operation, which I set up in Retford,
The warehouse.
Good old LinkedIn.
So I do sell a door where I'll buy a bunch of wine and people can come and taste it, and we do a returnable bottles thing, which would go great in somewhere like your deli, where you pay a deposit on a demi-jar or a demi-john, sorry, £2.50, pay for the wine, then, you fill the jar up.
£2.50?
Just for the demi-john.
Yeah.
not for the wine, Tom.
Right, okay.
I do need to make...
I was like, holy shit.
That's the bottom line.
Shift a lot.
There is a bottom line, but... But you can work through the economics with people, and say, "Oh, actually, you can get this liquid that's exactly the same as the liquid that's in here, but I've not had to put a label on it. I don't have to put a cork in it. I don't have to do this." And people loved it. But the matching, getting people to taste different things, was brilliant, and I loved it. And just seeing people say, Pinot Gris goes extremely well with a mature Comte. And it's so salty, this is grown on the coast, it has this saline finish to it, and you don't necessarily get it until you have it with something salty. And it's
Might
great.
go with the hash brown.
Yeah.
We're
Look at all
have
that
a go. Yeah. I know.
It's like the ocean has breezed on it.
I know. Yeah. Look at that, yeah. All right.
See Percy Lane, no, hash brown.
So, yeah, and it's just such a joy just to see people. And you can see who's getting into it and, you know, and to let people explore their own palates, because you don't necessarily, unless someone goes, oh, do you know what? Do this and this, or try this. Because you do get into your routines.
We did that at the coffee tasting thing, you know, like you go and they've got that case of scents. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it. It's a very expensive piece of kit apparently, but it just looks like loads of smells in bottles. But they're like, just smell it. Don't look at the cap, smell it, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think that's caramel. And someone's like, no, it's coffee or whatever it might be, you know. And you get confused, but then suddenly you're like, oh no, that's a lime, that's a lemon, that's hazelnuts, you know. And it's fun, actually. It's a fun thing to do, just to identify flavours, if anything else as well.
We were working with BBC coffee roasters down in Southampton, and it's amazing the similarities between the flavour profiles and what you pick out, and what someone who's, you know, really into their coffee will pick out, or anyone with a palate who has explored it and not just gone, whoa, that's delicious. Oof, gone.
Neck it.
Yeah. Or that's overridingly sweet, but I like sweet things, so I'll just drink that. You know, it's been.
We saw that as well the other day, didn't we? When we went coffee tasting was how you can liken it to something. So just to bring it down to ground level, it's not like, oh, that's hibiscus and Percy Lane. It was more like, well, it tastes like Nutella.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, absolutely, but it does. That's great. It's hazelnut and chocolate, but actually,
No, peanut
to
butter
everyone
kind of
else,
thing.
it's Nutella.
Yeah.
Bam.
And I think that's so very, very
Grounded and important. Yeah.
Because I think, and again, one of the reasons why I sort of have set this up in Retford and set the operation up in Retford is that I think that we are guilty as industries of being quite exclusive, excluding people, and language is a great example of that.
It's not approachable.
It's not approachable, and
It's like there's gates around it.
Yeah, and what's been great about doing that, I am not the wine expert in this. I have drank a lot of wine.
That's off.
I have. I've drank a lot of nice wine in the 20 years I've worked in the drinks industry. But I'm not the expert, you know. So I talk about it like that. I can do the script, and I talk about, you know, the long saline finish, and actually it's well weighted, and you know, and this. But that's not my language. My language is, oh, wait till you have some cocktail then. Oh. Taste the sea. Yeah. See what that is, yeah.
I haven't got anything similar to cocktail, but in the fridge.
Not in the fridge.
Yeah.
Not at the minute.
But it's great. But yeah, it's been quite the journey. So and just sort of starting to get some traction.
Yeah.
on it.
So really working on getting into the supply
Yeah.
to supply independence.
Yeah.
There's plenty down here you can go and see today, by the
Well, I
way.
was going
Yeah.
to say,
We'll
Steve,
we'll
across
give
the
you
road would
we'll
be
give you plenty of
perfect.
pointers before you leave. and
Thank
just go and
you.
knock on
Yeah,
the
give
door.
me a list. Yeah. I've got boots. I can't say that. There is no wine left unattended in my car.
But that is basically the gameplay now, is to get that going, to get a real movement, and then and just
Yeah.
shot by shot, basically.
Yeah,
right?
basically,
Yeah.
And then comes the demand, and working, you know, alongside sustainable wines is going to be key to this, because the also the take on it, which again you get with the independents, is actually, of course, it's a competitive market. Of course it is, but actually, if you do something collectively, you can get a different outcome, and there is room for everyone. You know, like, you don't have to. Again, when I was listening to your podcast, it was you.
Why?
I know.
Thank you very
And I
much.
tell you what, it's kind of you, because I didn't really get to Tom's bit.
Oh, you're talking about the one with Winnie and I did together. The last one. Yeah. That is a good one.
I'm like, Lee, it was really interesting listening, and relatable listening to you talk about the bottom line And actually, where you go out and you've made a brownie, and it's not necessarily the best brownie that wins.
The best brownie wins.
It's the one that's a penny cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same, like throughout the industry. And you go, God, we're on this race to the bottom.
Because you just know you're doing the work for doing the work's sake.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to stay with the same people. They just want to lower their price.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work, and you have to meet the people and do all that palaver to get nothing at the end of it. And you just know that. But doing that work, they might get you for something else. It's kind of building that relationship for something else as well. So
that whole networking piece, like there's and getting in. I mean, this is something that, you know, has been part of this. is the networking, you know, and I have an established network, and then have started going to other networking events, the Vine Strategy. Tom at the Vine Strategy puts on these amazing events, and just walking in here today, and you're going, oh, you need to speak to these people, and you need to do that, and actually getting out there is so important, and getting people to taste it, getting out there, getting in front of people. Is so very, very important, and
it's just getting them to try it as well. It's like trying a keg of wine. How long does a keg of wine last? As in lifespan?
It's up to 8 weeks.
Is it?
So 15 bottles. So 15 litres is 20 bottles of wine, that you can have going for up to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And the thing with the steel keg is, it's as long as it takes, because you're not introducing any oxygen to it. And of course, the way the profile will change. Of course, it will. You know, it's not. It'll change because naturally the wine will change, but it's stable. And it's more stable than you're opening a screw cap and putting the top back on, and then that bottle of whatever Italian, you know, like I don't know why I picked Italian, sorry if anyone's listening from Italy. Well,
all the Italians, 30 million of you.
You have a horse's head on you.
Take them to mattresses.
Or is that black hand, is it? You get a black hand in the post.
I'll be like, oh no, not again.
Bloody mafia's after me.
Jesus, George.
You're on me again.
George, gonna have to go to the Heidi place again. Oh, St. John. If anyone wants me. Yeah. So I can't remember now. I've gone off down. Anyway, wine that stays open on bars in bottles, rubbish.
Yeah.
That's that summarised. Try a keg. Yeah, try a keg, see how you get on with it. Yeah.
I think we're about time to do. We've ran out of time of conversation.
Conversational ending.
Well, there will still be conversation.
Yeah.
But we should do.
We're doing me
with a quiz.
Right. So
okay.
The quiz. So, sorry, that was probably quite noisy because I've moved that on.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Sue's very talented.
Too fair.
So the quiz, the pop quiz. I have prepared 5 questions for you that aren't necessarily like Trivial Pursuit questions, that are just like, actually, I'm genuinely interested in this. So, my 5 questions are, I would like to know how you switch your brain on. When you get up in the morning, how do you engage your brain?
Oh, this is a very different quiz.
Yeah, sorry.
This is just questions, which is fine.
I like this.
What do you do?
Switch my brain on. I know what I do. Matt and I. So Amy's best friend, or very good friends, my brother Matt, and we have a Wordle competition every day.
Oh, do you? Do you do Wordle every morning?
Every day.
Yeah, I am.
I beat him in not in.
Do you?
Yeah, he's got like I don't know, Matt. He'll tell you. Make a comment, Matt. But I'm sure it was like 40-day streak or something.
Yeah,
I'm on 224.
Oh no, who gets the word right quickest?
whoever does it first.
Yeah.
Like we don't compete at the same time.
Oh, right, yeah.
But,
and it's not, it took me 4 goes to do.
yeah,
What have you?
yeah. I mean, normally I get it less.
Yeah. So I'm dyslexic and my Wordle's hilarious. It's amazing. Like, honestly, the creativity that comes out of that. And George will very often go, what the
What are you spelling there?
yeah. I don't think that's a word. It is. Look, it's turned green. Right, let's Google it. Oh, it's archaic. Right. Archaic. Yeah. It's very good.
Yesterday,
Wordle
my
anyway.
starting word is adios.
Oh, do you have the
Right.
same word?
I have the same word, and I have the same second word. I never try and get it in one or
Why
two.
do you go the same word every single time?
So it starts adios, prune.
Oh,
Right.
prune's a good one.
So I've got all the vowels done with all different consonants
Yeah.
left. So I've used 10 letters, all the consonants are gone. I'm giving everyone my clues in now. I have changed it though. And then yesterday, I got the S, the I, and something else. Anyway, I just wrote silly. I was just feeling, I wasn't feeling very well. I just wrote silly. Bing. Got it. I was like,
straight in.
too easy. But sometimes I want it to be really hard. I'm like, I really want this poo to last about 15 minutes. And it's lasting 3 minutes. Damn it, I've got to go back downstairs.
Regular clockwork, and
Wordle.
half 7 poo. Wordle.
Yeah. Lovely. How do you start your day? I didn't mean that. It's kind of not what I...
Basically, I have a poo and we do Wordle.
Yeah.
But I kind of, it sounds a bit floozy and a bit gay that I never really kind of speak about, but like visualize the kind of day on the way in.
That's great.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
fantastic.
right, I was going, we're going to do this first, going to do this first.
yeah.
And then that, if I've got like a lot to do urgently, I will be more kind of, right, let's go straight away.
Yeah.
And if it's more relaxed kind of thing, I'll come in, chat to a few people and that kind of thing. So it's that kind of know what you got to do that day, and then that kind of think about what I need to do straight away. And
If you set the premise for your day, the only person you're letting down is you if you don't do it as well. That's good. Yeah, that's great.
So in the morning I wake up, I'm crap at waking up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, crap at waking up. I'm like,
Your night owl. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just struggle. And when I'm up, then I'm up. I can't have a little nap afterwards. I can't do that. And I'll just stay up till whenever I go to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of visualize what I need to do really. In my head, don't really talk about that much.
Yeah. I'll do something similar. I have to get the top of my head wet. It's really weird. I have to, like, if I've not had a shower, and I plan my day out when I'm like, and everyone's like, you've been ages. I'm like, well, there's a lot to do.
Just made a list in my head.
And then I get in my car, and then that's like my, or I walk to the station, and that's like my music switch off. Like, I'm really into music, and that's like my like that's I've sorted my day out. Then I have a little bit of downtime before I then hit the track running. Like nosebleed.
Fucking nosebleed.
Go on to number 2. That was good.
So,
I like that.
How do you switch off? When your head's buzzing.
Struggle.
Equally as important.
Struggle.
Yeah.
I've got better. He'll tell you. I've got better recently. The first sounds a bit for
4 years.
3 years. Fucking never. I text him, how about this? How about this? I was like, fucking have a day off. Go sleep. Do something. And yeah.
I don't mind the messages to Fed because the idea is logged.
I've got better.
Yeah.
As in, what do I do? Now I've got a dog. I can take a dog for a walk.
Nice,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Play with the kids and that. But then something will bring me back to it, and I'll be like, oh, God. Play with the kids, and then the kids will be like, I'll do this, and I'm like, right, I've got to sort this out because someone can't fucking do it. But now we've got a great team, so they mainly do everything else. So that helps as well, as in having the team behind you, so you can actually switch off. Because when you're in it all the time, no one else is going to do it. So you got to do it.
Yeah.
I've got better.
Yeah.
But I find it tough.
Yeah.
I also find it tough, and I've been self-employed 12, 13 years now, and it's tough. But I think, it used to be before I was injured, was going for a run. That really helped. When I discovered running, that was unbelievable. I was like, wow, this is free mind space.
Yeah.
I think listening to music, just relaxing, spend time with the family. I think is
It's
a good
really
way
important to be able to stop.
But it's massive. I'm really good at it. To be fair, I can be like, right, work's there, dush.
Yeah.
I do. Like
I know that I've even got things like I should be doing, but I really hate, certainly in an evening, getting the laptop out and doing work. I hate that. Stays closed. I take it home.
Yeah.
But it stays closed unless something's really pressing. Even if people are waiting for stuff, I'm like, I can just wait.
Yeah.
I do like going out for dinner and just doing that. That's not because we cook now. I don't really cook every day, but I used to cook every day. Going home to then cook every day, it's just like on a Friday, let's go out or get takeaway or something like that. That's nice.
Yeah. So cooking, tea is my cut off. So when I've eaten my tea, after I've eaten my tea, which might be 8, 9 o'clock at night or what have you, but then I'm useless. I'm asleep an hour later.
When's your most productive time? That's a good one.
Oh no! So
I'm opposite.
I'm opposite ends of the day as well, which isn't ideal. So I am between 7 and 9 o'clock
AM,
and then unfortunately between 6 and 8 o'clock PM, and then traditionally in between that I've been managing people. So like I've run teams of like 200-300, like, so big teams of people. So I've spent my day managing, and then these are my 2 free bits. So I tend to start work at 7 o'clock, so that I've got a couple of hours before everyone gets in. If I start work, and if I start work at 9-10, I'll feel lost. I'm like, ooh, like it feels like it's halfway through the day.
I know that my like best time is different, like 2 till 5, 2 till 4.
Oh, you see, I naturally should be asleep then. Like,
but I know that what I have to do is come in and like not firefight, but just listen to people. If I come here, for example, or Thomas Gage, I come here, listen to people, understand what's happening. It's not a lot to understand normally, but there's things happening, and you just reframe your mind, and then either sadly react to that, and then go into like that list that you've almost made in your head, or things at least set me on, because he's thought about them, which is fair. It's fair to say. Then I get back
lie here, Tom.
I do think of things, but also, shit, that probably is more important. That is more important than organising a podcast.
You get your to-do list at 2 a.m, right? Like, oh no.
And then I find that I actually get my golden time like between sort of 2, 3, 4. Which the irony is that I pick the kids up most days at 3, so I get like an hour of.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
which is unbelievable, really.
Yeah. That's great.
A lot of the time as well, I've been in the kitchen as well, so that kind of what's your productive time gets forced on you as well. Because you're most productive when you're the busiest. And you have to do things, and you have to. So it kind of varies as well. But I would say now it's more in the morning. It's definitely more. I would prefer to do work more in the morning than I do getting on like 3-4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's funny that like as business owners, the things that you do are just so incremental. The tiny little things, but a bajillion of them obviously makes a lot.
Yeah.
But it's just like I was doing this little thing today. Made this little change. Implemented this little thing. It becomes massive.
Well, the amazing thing about being self-employed is you can do that.
Yeah.
You have a privilege, like you can go, actually, not serving that like that, boom, done it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah,
I think
pivot quickly.
We spoke about this on actually the podcast you were talking about, is we can change something like that here. Tom can't. Tom in wedding catering, he has to wait 6 months sometimes to change something.
Longer.
Like a year, to change something. But we can like literally, I don't like that, let's change that, or that's coming off the menu now. It's like, that's too expensive, it's coming off the menu. Because butter price has gone up, whereas Tom's going to wait a year to...
I have made slight changes on pricing and stuff like that, but it still was
you
pretty
set
daunting.
It, but as is with this, you set it, Ready for your next question, boys?
Yes. Loving it.
10-minute tea.
10-minute tea.
The best 10-minute tea.
Ooh.
Carbonara.
Yeah, it is. It's always good.
Carbonara is sick. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Best fast food out.
Yeah, it's a pasta of some sorts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, carbonara would be awesome.
Yeah.
I like to whack a few peas in it, get the keys,
Yeah,
get some veg, but
Yeah. I
separate the
I it's just the best fast food.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
have to do anything.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Got a couple of eggs in the things.
Yeah.
Sound.
Yeah, mine's crab pasta. But exactly the same. Like, put the pasta in, cook it. While you're doing that, boof, everything else done. Lovely.
Jenny's got a thing she calls cheap pasta, and anything that's cheap pasta has sweet corn in. So anything is what's for tea? Cheap pasta, and it's pasta. I've probably got this really wrong. I'm sorry, Jenny. It's pasta, sweet corn, and anything else that they want. But it's got cheap pasta is the sweet corn and the pasta. You hate sweet corn.
So
Sweet corn.
my mate's dad does a mince, right? With beetroot, sweet corn,
Oh, wow.
mince, and spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Oh, it's
Some
disgusting.
tin to spaghetti.
Sweet.
The spaghetti, like
Pasta
sweet
spaghetti.
corn, beetroot, and mince.
You can understand why I went that way because it sounds so disgusting. You had to have more disgusting stuff in.
When you can have delicious carbonara.
Yeah,
Just do that, yeah. So what's your slow burner? What's your best slow burner?
As in food.
Yeah, that cooks for hours.
I'd love to. If I had the cash all the time, it would be short rib. Short rib, red wine,
Yeah,
mushrooms,
short is great.
bacon.
So-
like a bourguignon short rib or something like
Yeah.
that. Anything short rib, slow cook like that.
I
Creamy
love
mash.
I love a brisket. Just like then you can just flake it off.
Yeah.
And then in cobs and stuff like that, or like a pork belly.
Yeah.
I like stuffing cobs rolls for the people listening outside Leicester. Just stuff it in there,
Yeah.
kind of meat and rolls and stuff like that.
Nice. We've during lockdown, one of my morale boosters was doing stuff like we had a couple of slow cookers, and I'd do short ribs on occasion, just have them in, just cooking for hours, like and the guys from the warehouse would come out and it'd be like, it was so good, and just like eating together, and like it's so important.
It does,
And,
it is.
it was really good. Like, or just buy a massive ham and do it. So, what's your best pairing? Food and drink.
Best or favourite?
I'm going
Favourite.
like pork pie and a pint.
Oof, lovely.
Pork
What
pie
kind
and
of
a pint?
pint? What
Pork
kind of
pie and a
pint?
pint.
What kind of pint?
That shocks me, Lee.
And any
I'm
mustard.
getting into Guinness a lot now.
Oh, well, yeah.
so
You
Guinness and a pork pie would be wicked.
Yeah.
But I normally like a decent like
Oh,
pale ale,
yeah.
a pale ale or a lager.
Yeah.
Not really the bitter kind of drinker.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that. I think
Yeah.
that'd be my best kind of pairing. Pub,
So many.
I love
This is a hard question.
good pub food's wicked.
Mm.
I don't know about this one, Amy. What I want to say, and I'll just say it so I'll get it out of the air, is peanut butter and cucumber.
What?
Tom, that's not a drink.
Oh, it's in a drink.
Food
I
and
thought it was a
drink.
combo.
Food and
Oh,
drink.
right.
No.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, we've got to start this all over again now.
Cup of tea and a mince pie.
I was actually, do you know what?
Oh, I was going to say
Fantastic.
hobnob,
No, it's
yeah,
not.
yeah,
But it's cup of tea, fish and chips and tea. That's
Really?
I like
Not
that.
Tizer.
Oh, no, I do like... Actually, no, I've got it. Haggis and iron brew.
I was going to say, does it involve iron brew, Tom? I was going to
We've
say,
got haggis in the fridge.
Minging.
I love
it is.
haggis.
And I love iron brew.
haggis. And I
It's
love
like-
whiskey sauce. Oh, I love it. Whiskey and cream
Haggis
sauce.
and iron brew is a winner.
Oh,
Garbo.
We did that as a canapé, wedding canapé, actually. A little shot of iron brew and a haggis bonbon.
nice.
It's a banger.
I'd be up for that.
It's
That's
haggis
so
week
good.
this week, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we've got some. Did we get
Oh yeah, we've not got some from Fruit Pig,
Love.
but
Okay.
we're getting some in.
Love haggis. There you go. That was your pop
Was it
quiz.
all of them? Oh,
I
thank you
love
very
that.
much.
That was
Yeah, I
five,
love
wasn't
that.
it? That was
Yeah.
5, yeah. So sorry, it wasn't like a traditional
competition-y
trivial
one.
pursuit.
But no, I like that.
Yeah,
No, we're
sorry,
all right.
lads.
We're okay with that. Right. We have the... God, yeah, I'm coughing now.
Right, but that's brown challenge.
Sauce shop challenge.
Now Tom's poorly,
So, right.
so he ain't doing it.
So I'm not doing it.
He's had the Tom Dix.
But we've got this hot sauce set challenge.
Okay. So where's the... Oh, it's made in
Sauce
Nottingham.
shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Nottingham. I bet you could put wine in this. So there's a very
Have you got
hot
any
one.
milk in case anything...
Do you think you can
Have
like?
some milk if you
Do you think
like.
you can match hot sauces with wine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut through. Yeah. Compliment. Yeah.
Which way we going?
Does
Get
this
some
go in
waters.
order?
It's hot. It's hottest here.
Okay.
I would say
How hot is hot?
this one and this one could swap.
I agree. I always feel awkward standing up in case I mess the camera angles, but you know, what's done is done. Oh, you got water.
I've got water.
You don't need it.
But,
Okay.
well,
You want that
come
one?
on, Tom. Yeah,
It's not that bad.
I'll double part. Well, that's no.
It's
Well,
not
I've
that
got a
bad.
coffee there.
So the first one.
Yeah, this is buffalo hot sauce. And there's
Okay.
napkins here.
Going again.
Bon appetit.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've done. Right,
Buffalo
Tom,
hot
so you're not
sauce.
seeing it.
so let's go for it.
So while these two are tucking in, let me know. Do you think this is a good idea for us to do or not? If you could like and share the podcast, that'd be fantastic.
Well, I'll let you know if it's a good idea or not. Right.
Walk in the park.
Easy one. I love this one. This is my favourite one.
It's
This
interesting
on
they
chicken
put that
wings.
one forth.
This on chicken wings. Fantastic.
Chicken wing.
Perfect for wings as well. Hey,
There we go.
they know
You
the
should
beans,
work
don't
at the
they?
marketing department.
Fucking should I?
Don't get Tom started on cauliflower wings.
Have you heard that one? Have you?
That was the same one. Fucking cauliflower.
Fucking cauliflower wings.
I'm so right though, aren't I? I'm right, aren't I?
I'm not getting involved.
I am right. I would start a campaign about that.
That was lovely,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
Butter like,
very,
yeah. That's why it's hard to pour. I think it's got it must have
Yeah.
a huge fat content in.
I think it might be a bit cold.
Yeah, it's 8.8%.
So what am I having now?
This is sriracha.
Oh, nice. I like sriracha.
This is
fat.
delicious, this one.
Oh, we can hear the ASMR in there.
I'd just like to point out.
Yeah, that he's eating half of it.
Starting to be commissioned more.
Yeah, what's that about? Go on, Hardy, get it down you. You can't eat half the sauce.
Go on.
I'll pour.
Load 'em up.
Make it
Be-
easy.
You be more.
Oh, now texturally this looks hot.
Yeah,
Just saying.
it's runnier.
Yeah.
You
Danger.
know that go-to hot sauce you've always reaching for. That's what this is. It's hot, but not too hot. Garlicky, but not too garlicky. And the perfect consistency for pouring over just about anything, like a hash brown. Enjoy.
So
It
we
said- it
use
said
Does
hash
it
brown.
say hash brown?
No, I made it up.
these guys in our. So we use the ketchup as our tomato ketchup.
Sauce
Oh,
for the
wow.
tables, yeah.
Scotch bonnet chili jam is in one of our toasters, and
That's with James Cochran, the chef.
hot honey sriracha as well, which we've used
Yeah.
in the past. I think they're a super cool brand, and
Have you ever had these before? Have you ever heard of this company? No, not at all.
That was really nice.
They're in a lot. They're in a lot of supermarkets. I think they did a collab with Aldi actually.
the last one's hot. It's hot
Proper.
proper, not massively like, but it's the hottest one.
Next one is the habanero hot sauce. Sweet habanero, heat, juicy mango. Stick it on tacos, drink it for all we care. If fruity hot is your thing, this is for you.
Can't drink it. Mental.
Right.
Grape vinegar, mango, aged habanero, garlic and salt.
Do we also get a prize if I don't get any of this down my white shirt?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well done.
Smash browns for
Pat on the
pudding.
back. Yeah. Nice one, Ames. Well done. Yeah, good.
That one's more tangy.
Oh,
Like,
now.
oh, he's gone. He's gone. All right, I thought you were going to dick me over then. I put a massive. That's all right.
Oh, no.
That's all right.
I'm not licking that.
Oh, it's quite warm. That's all right. Yeah.
It gets your tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's nice.
So apart from St John, where's your favourite place to go in London, Amy? As you live in London, you must be privy to great places.
Honestly, I'm incredibly spoiled. We are incredibly spoiled. So we've lived in and around Clerkenwell for 20 years. So there's Morrow, there's St John, there's Marcella, quality wines, quality chop house.
Oh, quality.
Yeah, quality chop house is, and then
I
next
thought that was
door is
Juliet's
like,
quality food. It's nothing to do with Juliet. Juliet's quality foods, is it?
And Juliet's is South London.
and then I really love Quo Vadis.
All right.
Like Jeremy Lee's
Have you had
really
the?
good.
Have you? Oh,
His
what's the
pie is
the
brilliant.
eel sandwich? Have you had that?
So the only thing
Have you not had it?
I don't
That's his like iconic
no,
dish.
I know. The only thing I don't like in the world, to eat is eel.
Really?
And so I keep on going to order it, and everyone goes, "No, Ames, there's no point. You don't like eel. I'll order something else delicious." But
It'll make it nice.
I think that's really, I love it. It's a really, really decent setup. Marcella that's on the corner of Exmouth Market. That's really nice. And then there's Chapel Market Kitchen. That's just set up. I can't remember the chef. That's terrible. They do pound oysters on a Monday. So
Really?
you get the guys from the market coming down, and this is brilliant. You get the guys from the market coming down, and they'll go, "Are you doing your pound oysters?" And they'll go, "Yes, we are." And they will have 15 oysters and a small glass of wine. So they do all the wines by the glass, and it will cost them 20 quid. And you're like, perfect. And you just sit there and just eat 15 oysters.
Nice.
If that's your thing.
There's that Anthony Bourdain story, just to contradict what you said there. Anthony Bourdain story about like discount sushi. I should never ever buy discount sushi.
Yeah.
It's like, I see signs, wherever you discount sushi, don't fucking eat it.
Well, every day they post on Insta the picture of the box with the date on for the oysters.
Oh.
They'll like go, the oysters have arrived, and
So they know they're good,
it is so you know that they're good. But yeah, the old Anthony Bourdain thing. I think that one of the best things that I've ever heard or read is his quote about make sure you do, go to the pub at 4:00 when no one else is in, have a pint,
have the cream sauce,
there,
talk
have
to a local,
sit in
the comfy chair,
and every time I read it I just go, let's do that.
We should have that on the wall, actually.
What time is it? Oh, I can go to the pub. Yay. Right, I'm stalling,
Right, come on.
seriously, aren't I?
This is the one.
All right, cheers.
Crunch.
I feel like, oh,
just to cover the flavour.
It's hot.
It is hot. I've had it before. I know what you're experiencing.
well,
That's warmer.
I think. Sorry. I think what I did there. Self-defense.
Oh, you put it on.
No, I ate the whole potato. I was like, not messing about with that.
My favourite story about eating it. And
That's
I told
quite-
you it
that's
wasn't
quite
I?
hot.
Was when they ate the Marmite flipped it so whenever he eats Marmite, he eats it with the Marmite on his tongue. You know, you eat toast.
Yeah.
Normally the whatever
Why
peanut
not
butter, ketchup, whatever it is goes.
Hang on, I'm just chewing the chip out. I thought it was a bit of.
What were you chewing?
I think I'm chewing
napkin?
the seeds.
Boom!
Oh, congratulations, I've got sweaty eyebrows now. How's the hot sauce challenge going? Brilliant, yeah. Well done, winner. Well, it's good, that
It's
one.
probably not a good time to give yourself a shameless plug, is it? It's going to throw everyone, isn't it? Oh, what are we going to do now?
Hello, I'm Amy from Thirsty Nights. That's Sustainable Wine Solution. I can't breathe if you need any wine on tap.
That was perfect.
Yeah. You can find us on this website. This depends on Sustainable Wine Solutions.
Say it to the camera.
I don't really want to look at myself, Tom, at the minute. I'm feeling a slight burning sensation on the...
I didn't know that could happen. Oh, that's my new favourite game.
Oh,
Look, you
no.
can lean in,
I've
you
got
can see
pictures.
yourself. Lean in, you can see yourself.
Oh, you got visuals.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking hell.
Oh, well,
2025,
you won't
innit?
get
Don't
this.
turn that-
I love that
yeah,
round.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're not going to get this one out of there, are you? You know, next time a guest comes in, they're going to be sat
know
next
it's
to
what
you.
they look
Tom's just going to be there going, hi.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you may recognise me from such.
Troy McClure.
Yeah,
People like vegetables.
yeah.
Hi, my name's Troy McClure. You might remember me on some film sets.
I love Troy McClure. Hi, you might recognise me from such. Anyway, what was I saying? I wasn't, was I? So you can. So our route to market. So check out Sustainable Wine Solutions and Borough Wine. They're doing incredible, great things. And then Thirsty Birds is thirstybirdswine.com.
Handy that was available.
Yeah.
Didn't have to bribe anyone with 17,000 gazillion gallons of wine for that.
No, we didn't. No.
Good.
Yeah, so if you Google Thirsty Birds, then we should come up. If we don't.
There's more SEO work to be done.
Yeah.
There's always SEO work to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jen.
I was about to say the same thing. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute joy.
Yeah. It's been great. And cheers.
Thank you very much.
Do I clap?
Of course you can.
Am I clapping myself? Oh, no.